Hey everybody, I hope you're doing super well today. Again, I just had another really cool thought, and I call this one the Inception of music. And I got this idea, or I guess this thought. I drive buses at the moment, which is pretty fun, and sometimes I'll chuck on the radio, and some interesting songs come on sometime, and the tunes are pretty catchy. I'm like, "Ooh, this sounds really good." And the song comes on, I'm like, "Oh, this song sounds like really cool." And it's like, "You're savage, love," and it's like talking about all this stuff. And I'm like, "Oh," and then I'm listening to what the lyrics of this song are, and catch myself. I'm going, "Hang on a second. What this guy is singing about is actually so hectic." And it dawned on me, I was like, oh, no wonder why we have a generation that has completely dysfunctional relationships, because so many of our generation, of our friends and our peers, are continually listening to music and watching movies that is proliferating, or that is advocating uh, a dysfunctional relationship or a dysfunctional lifestyle. And this song is quite hectic. The song's essentially talking about how this guy loves this girl, but this girl doesn't actually love him. She actually is just using him to make her other lover jealous. And so she's like sleeping with him and doing all this stuff, but she doesn't actually love him. She's just using him to make this other guy jealous. And I was thinking, I was like, man, what is more unattractive? Like, there are literally no redeeming qualities for that person that this guy is singing about. I mean, as if, how could anyone, like, it just blows my mind, how could anyone be interested in a type of person that just uses someone to make other people jealous? And it's beyond me. I don't know. But this thought came of the inception of music and or the inception of media and entertainment. And the idea is actually spoken about in the scriptures. And Jesus says, firstly he says, guard your heart. In Proverbs it says, guard your heart, for out of it will flow the issues of life. And so what he's saying is, be careful your heart, maintain the posture of your heart, make sure things don't come into your heart that shouldn't be there, or things that would tarnish or make bitter or make wrong desires, allowing them to come into your heart, because out of that will flow the issues of life. In another place it says, out of the heart the mouth will speak. And then Jesus says in the Gospels, in Matthew, he actually says, your eyes are the lamp unto your body. And so if the eye is evil, how much darkness is there in the body? But if the eye is light, how much light will be in your body? And so what it's saying here is the way in which we see things and how we perceive things and what we allow to come into us is going to manifest in our hearts and in our minds. And so what I want to, and I'm calling this the inception of music. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the movie Inception. If you haven't, I really enjoyed the movie. It's quite a mind-twisting movie, but essentially the premise of the movie is this: that these people will go into people's dreams and they will implant ideas or thoughts, very subtle, just a one sentence idea, just a something to shift this person's thinking, and they will implant it or embed it into the deep subconscious of this person's mind and their heart, so that when they wake up out of their dream, now they've got this inkling or this inclination or this strange new subconscious desire inside of them to go and do these things, or to go and make this decision, or to act a certain way now. And similarly, how many times is the enemy using mainstream media, or using entertainment, or using music that can sound really good, because who knows that oftentimes this music has a good beat, it has a good rhythm. You're like, oh, this is catchy. Or those movies, they're really entertaining, or they're really funny, or they're doing all these sorts of things. But I wonder how many things are being embedded into the hearts and into the minds of people through watching these certain things or listening to these types of music. How many things are coming into the hearts of people? How many things, I'm like, the song that I was just talking about, the Savage Love one, where this guy is chasing after this girl who doesn't actually love him, but is just using him to make the other guy jealous. I'm thinking, like, how could people actually do this? But I wonder how many people actually think that that's okay. I wonder how many people actually think, oh, this is my role, because I think too many young people, or too many people in general, they don't have role models in their life, and so the only role model, or the only example that they see in life is what they hear in music and what they see in movies or TV shows, and so they begin to base their life around these things now. And so I wonder how many people start to allow this type of thinking to come into their mind, and if it comes into their mind and into their heart, then, well, we know what Proverbs says: out of your heart will flow the issues of life. And so I wonder, that was my thought today, is I guess that we would be more discerning and a bit more cutthroat with what we allow ourselves to listen to and what we allow ourselves to watch, because it can sound good in the moment, it can be entertaining in the moment, be like, oh, this is a little bit fun, but I wonder what things it is allowing to be embedded into our heart. I wonder what inceptions it is allowing into our heart and into our mind to shift the way we think and to tilt it a bit off the things of God, off a godly way of thinking, off a godly way of living our lives, and more inclined towards a worldly way of thinking and to a worldly mindset and lifestyle. And so I just really encourage us, let's be more discerning, let's be a bit more cutthroat with what we're allowing ourselves to watch and to listen, and let's be known as a people that are holy. Let's be known as a people that actually walk in righteousness, walk in holiness, and that we wouldn't prostitute our holiness for a few minutes of entertainment, that we wouldn't prostitute our righteousness for a few moments of a good tune or a good beat, but that we would be a people who are holy, who are cutthroat with things that we know, hey, that's not good for my life, that's not good for my ears, that's not good for my eyes or for my heart. I'm not going to engage in that. And so that's my encouragement for today. I hope it's blessed you guys. Father, I pray that your Spirit would be upon us, that we would be mature believers who by constant practice or constant use have practiced and have grown in our ability to discern both good and evil. And Lord, that we wouldn't allow the temporary fleeting temptations of the world and the allure of temptation and the allure of ungodliness to draw us away from the things of you and your kingdom. But Lord, that we would press harder into your things, into your kingdom, into your promises, God, and that we would find the wholesome joy and purity and the wholesome goodness of what it looks like to walk in holiness and righteousness. And Father, I thank you that in that it's so much more satisfying and so much more restful, in Jesus' mighty name. Have a wonderful rest of the day. God bless. I'll see you guys next time.